Hey guys! Alright, so this is the video I've been promising for the last few days, or pretty much all week. Sorry, crumbs on the counter. Today I'm gonna show you guys the posters that I made. First, I want to talk to you guys a little bit. I put our plants outside today, and our friend Andrew asked for me to put his plants outside. And I gotta throw these away. Sorry, I get distracted easily. That's gross. I cannot keep salad greens. I can't. I can't put them in our fridge because our fridge freezes everything. And I'm not going to even say anything to our landlord because they replaced the fridge right before we moved in, so that would be futile. Anyway, yeah, I was able to put our plants back outside today, and Andrew's plants, I'm probably going to get my garlic tub back out there today. It's nice out, and here within a few days, we're going to have a couple of days that it's going to be in the 80s again, so. And we've already shut our air conditioner off, so. Oh well. A little bit of sweating never hurt anybody. So. I've got the next 3 days off. I'm going to be cutting pineapple and putting it in the fridge or in the freezer today. There's one of them. I have another one on the other side of my toaster oven. I'm going to be putting that in the freezer, and then I'm going to be cutting apples and cooking some more apples down and making applesauce. And there was something else that I had to do that. I'm also gonna make some little eggplant pizzas. Don't worry, they're healthy. And I'll just put those in the fridge because that doesn't matter if they freeze after they're cooked. There was something else I had to do today. Oh, my goodness, my pumpkin. Be right back. I gotta cut this pumpkin and get it in the freezer. So this is gonna take the longest. So I'm gonna get the pineapple done first, and then the applesauce. Then I'm gonna have to work on the pumpkin because that's gonna take a while because I'm gonna have to get it all cut down, and that actually takes a while to get it cut. And I'll be saving seeds from it, so that's where some of our pumpkins are gonna come from next year on the property. Just keep praying for that one. And I'll be cooking that down and getting it in the freezer. I can't can it because I don't have a pressure canner. And I don't know anybody I could borrow one from, so. Anyway, so it's kind of going on. I heard from, well, didn't hear from. I've been trying to keep in contact with my son Christian. And he reads my texts. He doesn't text me back. So we're just praying that everything is okay. And I don't know, I just trying to keep in contact with him and let him know that, that we're thinking about him and praying for him, and hopefully he'll contact us at some point. So I don't know what's going on. I haven't heard from him since April, so I don't know. Keep him in your prayers. I just have this feeling that he really needs the prayer right now. So anyway, so today's video, the posters. Okay, so a lot of this information I got off from individual pins on chickens and ducks and geese and guineas and quail and pig, chickens, ducks, geese, guineas, horses and quail and rabbits, pigs, quail, and rabbits. Sorry, I was trying to go in alphabetical order. Didn't work for everyone. Chickens, ducks, geese, guineas, horses. So I get it right. Pigs, rabbits, pigs, quail, rabbits, and turkeys. Got it. Anyway, I know I'm being weird. Okay, so this is the poster. And it's going to be kind of hard. Try to see if I can get it in the screen. Or at least each section. At least I know it's going to be the right way when... Okay, we're going to go at it this way. Okay, so this is oats, rye, millet, pumpkins, corn, more corn, barley, peas, watercress, collards, collard greens, cucumbers, radishes, spinach, curly kale, alfalfa hay, zucchini. Oh, I can't see that one. Zucchini. Swiss chard and pumpkins. That's in that one. Beets. And then sugar beets. Okay. So each one of those, the oats will go for the horses, cows, and sheep if we decide on sheep. I don't know. That one's still up in the air. Rye for horses. Millet for guineas and quail. And yes, you can get seeds for those. I've checked on all this stuff. Horses, okay, pumpkins. Horses can have pumpkins, you just have to take the seeds out of them. Which, yeah. I can save a few pumpkins because if we can set this up pretty much like this, we'll have a lot of pumpkins, so. Alright, and then corn, horses and the cows. Barley for horses. Peas, and horses, pigs, rabbits, chickens, ducks, geese, guineas, and turkeys will all eat peas. Watercress. Now, around our pond is probably going to be where I'll plant the watercress because they need a lot of water. And the horses, rabbits, and of course we'll take some of the watercress. And collards. Horses, rabbits, chickens, ducks, geese, guineas, and turkeys will all eat collards. Collard greens. Cucumbers. Those were mentioned yesterday on the video. Cucumbers, horses, rabbits, chickens, ducks, geese, guineas, and turkeys will all eat cucumbers. Horses will, and then radishes. Horses will eat radishes. And chickens will also eat the radish greens. I know that, and I'm pretty sure that the guineas and the turkeys will too. Spinach. Horses will eat spinach, and so will chickens. Curly kale. Rabbits will eat curly kale, and so will chickens. Alfalfa hay for the cows and the rabbits. Zucchini. Horses can eat zucchini. You just have to take the seeds out of them. So you have to cut it and take the seeds out. Then again, that's okay because you can dry the seeds and save them. And plant them for next year. And rabbits will eat zucchini. Swiss chard. Horses, rabbits, sheep, pigs, chickens, ducks, geese, guineas, and turkeys will all eat Swiss chard. And again with the pumpkins. Beets. Horses and pigs will eat the beets. Chickens love to eat greens. I'm pretty sure turkeys and guineas will eat them as well. Sugar beets. Sheep will eat sugar beets, and I'm I think pigs will too. I don't know why I don't have that down there, but I'll be checking that one out. Okay. The next section. I'm not tall enough here. I will show it here. And the top is sweet potatoes, turnips, parsnips. I can't read upside down, guys. Beets and watermelon. And rutabagas, lettuce, hay, butternut squash, sunflowers, squash, celery, lettuce, and snow peas. Carrots, potatoes, green beans, and oats. Okay. Now the sweet potatoes, you have to cook them first, because potatoes are toxic until they're cooked. So you can feed cooked sweet potatoes to pigs, rabbits, goats, and you can feed the vine leaves to the quail. You cannot feed them the potatoes. Turnips. Pigs will eat a certain type of turnip called Appen forage turnips. That's APPEN forage turnips. And I know you can get the seeds for that because I've looked that up. And then you can feed just the regular turnips to chickens, ducks, geese, guineas, and turkeys. And you can feed the greens to the quail. They won't eat the turnips. And the chickens will also eat the greens, probably as well as the guineas and turkeys. I'm sure they will too. Rutabagas. Pigs, goats, and sheep will eat rutabagas. Now, I'm pretty sure I've pretty much decided that we are going to go with pigs, just because of that ad that was in the paper. No, we did not get them because we don't have a way to get anything up to the property. But we're going to keep our eye open on that little paper. And as soon as we have a way, anything comes up and we're able to, once we get our barn built, that's when we're going to keep our eye open on that paper. And I find anything like that for free, we will be getting it. I'll just have to find a way to stay on the property. Hopefully by then we'll be able to have like a camper trailer or something. Oh, and then I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting goats as well, because you can get goats all over the place here. Plus the guy that Andrew knows, we could get them pretty cheap from them too. Okay, the hay. The hay is going to be for the cows, horses, goats, and sheep, if we decide to get sheep. And if we do, the sheep will be specifically for making our own yarn. Yes, I know that's going to be a learning experience. Something I'm going to have to look up, read up on, write stuff down, watch videos. But again, if we decide on sheep, that's what it's going to be for. And you can make natural dyes with plants, which is exactly what we do to color it. Okay, lettuce. Just, regular lettuce, not head lettuce. We're not going to be doing that because there's just basically no nutrition in it whatsoever. The lettuce is going to be for the rabbits, chickens, ducks, geese, guineas, turkeys, and quail. Now, I do believe it's the rabbits, and Chloe wants guinea pigs. That I do believe they have to have lettuce every day, that they're supposed to. So, alright. Carrots. Carrots are going to be for the rabbits, horses, goats, sheep, chickens. The turkeys will eat the greens. The chickens will too. And the ducks, geese, and guineas. And I'm sure that they'll eat the greens as well. Regular potatoes. They have to be cooked. Pigs, goats, and sheep. Parsnips. Horses and goats will eat parsnips. I almost said horses will eat goats. Don't know where my mind went there for a minute. Anyway, beets. No, horses will not eat goats. Beets, just regular beets, and we have a ton of beet seeds, which is a good thing. Horses, chickens, turkeys, ducks, geese, guineas, and quail. Okay, horses will eat the actual beets. They'll probably eat the greens as well. Chickens, turkeys, ducks, geese, guineas, and quail will eat the greens. Now, chickens will eat pickled beets. I know that because I fed them a few just to see if they would eat them up in Michigan, and they did. They loved them. And I'm sure they would eat, like, fermented as well. Alright, watermelon! You can feed horses watermelon. You just have to take the seeds out. So, that would be one where you'd have to kind of cut some, and you'd have to just pick the seeds out of it and then feed them the watermelon. But when I cut watermelon, I'm always going to get my watermelon rind pickles. Always. Alright, butternut squash. You can feed that to horses and goats. With the horses, you have to take out the seeds. But again, the seeds, you can dry them and save them for next year. And plant them. So, sunflowers. Now, I'm going to have to look this one back up because I think you can only feed... I'm not sure what part of the sunflowers the horses can eat. I don't know if they can actually eat the seeds or not. Goats will eat the whole thing. Celery. Horses, rabbits, chickens, ducks, geese, guineas, and turkeys will all eat celery. The greens and the celery. Okay. Squash. Again, you can feed that to horses, just not the seeds. Goats will eat the whole thing. But again, with the seeds, dry them, save them for next year, and plant them. Lettuce. I don't know why I had this twice. And I think this particular lettuce, and I should have written this down, is probably like the romaine type lettuce for horses. And then horses will also eat snow peas. Green beans. You can feed those to horses, chickens, ducks, geese, guineas, and turkeys. Now, with green beans, you want to make sure that they're young and they're not mature. Because the beans inside them, the actual beans inside them, can't... Oops, that was wet. Yeah, the actual beans inside them can actually be poisonous to some of the birds. You just want to make sure that the beans are young and tender. I'm fighting with my poster board. Alright, and then once again, oats. I don't know why I had this one down again. Probably another growing section to make sure we would have enough. And I just have sheep written down for that one. Alright, so the bottom section. And this is just growing plots that I've got for these. And this is amaranth grain, barley, buckwheat, chia seed, flax, peanuts. Yes, I'm going to try to grow peanuts. So we can make our own peanut butter. So it's healthy, and we know it's healthy. Popcorn. Homemade popcorn. Homegrown popcorn. Quinoa. And I have quail written down here because quail will eat quinoa. My oldest son pronounces it quinoa, and I've always pronounced it quinoa because it just sounds weird the other way. Red spring wheat, winter wheat, and whole wheat berries. Now, quail will eat whole wheat berries. This is an empty section right now. Now, these, I'm going to have to look into these on the wheat because Andrew was telling me that most of that wheat is all GMO'd. And if that's the case, I'm going to have to find something else. So, okay. This is all our herbs. Okay. This is a bunch of herbs that you can feed to a bunch of different animals. This is anise hyssop, peppermint, sage, lavender, lemon balm, dill, white clover, plantain, basil, oregano, yarrow, coltsfoot, Italian parsley, cilantro, calendula, sunflowers, nasturtiums, hibiscus, and fodder beets, which are basically sugar beets. Okay, so the anise hyssop, ANISEHYSSOP, anise hyssop, can be fed to rabbits. Peppermint can be fed to rabbits, chickens, ducks, geese, guineas, and turkeys. Sage, you can feed little tiny bits at a time to rabbits because they don't like the strong smell if you try to feed them too much. Same with lavender. And rabbits will also eat lemon balm. And you can feed dill to rabbits. Now, I end up with a whole section of these herbs like this. You better believe we're going to be picking them and using them for culinary and medicinal purposes. So, look forward to those videos when we do have this. Especially the dill. I have had such a problem getting dill to grow. I don't know why. So I'm going to have to really read up and watch videos and research, as I've said, research on how to grow dill. Because I really want the homegrown dill. White clover, and that's everywhere in the spring, thank God. But I actually do have seeds for it as well, so I can make like a section for white clover. And rabbits, chickens, ducks, geese, guineas, turkeys, and quail will all eat white clover. And white clover can be used in teas, tinctures, and some other stuff. And it's really healthy. Plantain, I was talking about that yesterday. You can feed that to your rabbits. Chickens will also eat it. Basil. Basil can be fed to rabbits, chickens, ducks, turkeys, guineas, and geese. Rabbits, chickens, ducks, geese, guineas, and turkeys. Blah, blah. And oregano. And you can feed that to rabbits, chickens, ducks, geese, guineas, and turkeys. And another one that I just realized I don't have down here is mint. And I know you can feed that to chickens. So I'm going to have to look that one up. Yarrow can be fed to rabbits. Coltsfoot. That can be fed to rabbits, but you have to dry it first. Italian parsley. Rabbits, chickens, ducks, geese, guineas, and turkeys all like Italian parsley. And they say Italian parsley because it's flat and it's the bigger leaves. Cilantro. Rabbits and chickens will eat cilantro. Calendula. Rabbits will eat calendula. I don't know about chickens. I didn't have any actually grown. Actually, I did a couple years ago. More like 3 years ago. I never got them dried down either. Have to make sure I get those planted this year. Nasturtiums! I love nasturtiums. I've actually put them in salads and they are really good. So I can vouch for that. Rabbits will eat nasturtiums. Rabbits will also eat sunflowers and hibiscus. And chickens will eat sunflowers too. And then fodder beets, which I do believe are just sugar beets, goats will eat those. They might be different. I don't know. I'd have to look those up. Anyway, so this is actually on the side of this right here. I wrote growing area for animal feed. I don't have anything on the back of this, so I can add more if I need to. I love these poster boards, and that's what I do to try to, work out exactly what we're gonna do as far as growing space or living space or building space. I take the poster board and for gardens or like animal growing plots like that, I section it out and then I write in it, what specific thing I'm going to try to grow there and then what it's for. So, that's that poster board. Okay, this is my original drawing for our property. And I might try to work this. I think I might try to kind of crisscross this one with the other one. The one that's on the wall. Okay. We're supposed to be able to get some money from an investment in December. If we do, the middle section of that poster board, we're going to be going through Mountain Ridge Log Homes, and we're going to be having our main cabin built. I'm going to have it built off-grid, though. I might try to go solar. I know I've talked about that. But we're going to need something up there for, a few different things that we've got going on. So, that's only if we have that money in December. If not, then it's going to be all off-grid. Because we'll have to build it ourselves. There's supposed to be a friend of ours coming down that's supposed to be bringing materials down to help us build. There was supposed to be this cabin right here. I have no idea. This has been bantering back and forth since like March or April. No idea what's going on. I really do hope he comes down. Because we can use all the help we can get, and it'll give us another way to be able to get out to the property and start getting work done. So, and I want to be able to help him out too, because he's kind of in a bind himself. So, and we have enough land, I'm willing to share. So, anyway, if we have to go with this, like this crisscrossed with the other one, which I have a picture of that on my phone. Let me go get that. I will be right back, guys. Okay, I'm back. So, this right here, the poster. I can't really point much out, but this right here, you can barely see it. That right there is where I drew in an off-grid cabin. That's what I was talking about on the video. This middle section right here is what is going to be built if we have the money in December. Well, it's not going to be built in December. If we get the money from our investment, like I'm hoping we will, then we should be able to start having that cabin built next year. That's what I'm hoping for. No idea. But I kept this just in case, because this, I figure, we could use this for the off-grid cabin up in the corner, and I'll kind of angle this stuff. Well, not the gardens. The gardens I'm going to leave where I've got them. Around kind of how I've got them on that picture. The cabin, but it's going to be this way instead. So we can go up the drive. I can have make a driveway from over here and go right up to the cabin. But I think what I'm going to do... Still debating on the outdoor kitchen, because... No, we're still going to have the outdoor kitchen. It's not what I'm debating on. What I'm debating on is where I want to put it, because the outdoor kitchen should be near your gardens. And in the poster, it's not really. It kind of is. Okay. There's the cabin right there, the off-grid cabin. Here's the outdoor kitchen right there. And then this is our garden space right in here. So, kind of debating. I mean, it's kind of in the center. I kind of had it I drew it in near where we want to have the other cabin built if we can. The outdoor kitchen doesn't necessarily need to be near the your actual main house. It needs to be closer to your garden because you don't want to have to lug a whole bunch of garden harvest that far. Just kind of a little bit of a time saver thing. But the problem is I don't know where to put it. It's just, I don't know. I don't... Because if we're able to have the other cabin built, and this other one right here, that would be a guest cabin. So technically we would end up with like probably 2 guest cabins. I don't know, I'm just debating. On the newest poster board setup that I have, there really isn't a place for it to be. Unless... I don't know. I don't know. That's something we have to figure out. Anyway, I kind of like this setup for that more than I do that one over there, but I don't want the gardens on this side, which this would be, like the driveway up to the cabin. Oh, it would be like the driveway up to the cabin, because the cabin would be this way. And then the guards, I don't know if I like that. This is just... this is why I had to redo this, because this was before we'd been out to the property. And I did that according to the clearing on the property. So... But I like this setup with the cabin, the smokehouse, the storm shelter and root cellar, the woodshed workshop, our clotheslines, the outdoor kitchen, the medicinal herbs, the kitchen herbs, medicinal and kitchen herbs, compost bins, and I mean, technically it would work that way. I could put the woodshed and the workshop and the outdoor kitchen on the side. Right there on the side near the cabin. No, it's still gonna be farther. That's gonna be farther away from the gardens. You know what? We'll just buy a wheelbarrow. So, anyway, this was my old setup. Again, this was before we were out on the property. So we're just gonna have to see how it plays out. On this one, I have the elderberry bushes right here on the outside of the gated entrance of the garden because I actually forgot them. Oh, the other ones are over there. Okay, anyway. Whatever. Anyway, I've got the elderberry bushes over here. On my new setup, I would probably work in the elderberry bushes probably around the outdoor kitchen. Or I would work them in on the inside perimeter of the privacy fence around the living area, the main living space in the property, because elderberry needs shade. They need partial shade to grow properly. So, anyway. I think I'm going to do a combination of kind of this and what I drew. So, now, if we're able to have the other house built through Mountain Ridge Log Homes, if it's up in the air, we have a plan B, so it's okay. The particular floor plan that we picked out has a pool. Yeah, because it gets hot down here. And we will have a covered, like, room over that pool. If not, and we have to go with more this, I will buy a pool and a pool cover and set it up. Anyway, I will just have to find a way to fill it. Probably through one of our rainwater catchment tanks. Anyway, on this, the greenhouse is here. And then on this, I had the strawberries and white alpine strawberries, which I did not draw a space for those on there, and I'm going to have to do that over there. And then asparagus, I might actually grow asparagus because of doing the community garden thing. The homesteading community on the mountain. Because I know there are a lot of people that do like asparagus, so I might actually try to cook some myself and see if I like it. So, you never know, taste might have changed since I was a child. We are still going to have a fire pit. But the fire pit I'm going to put probably more near our cabin. We'll see. I remembered the rhubarb patch on this. Anyway, and this one I drew a bigger barn. One for a bull, a dairy, 2 dairy cow, a beef cow, feed storage, horses in here, rabbits and quail, sheep and goats, and then pigs. Am I going to do it that way? Maybe. Maybe. We'll just have to see. And then over here, I have, this is the broody house for the chickens, for the hens. Chickens, turkeys, guineas, ducks, geese, meat chickens, fence around this, pond, and I'm going to make sure they have a whole bunch of foliage and stuff, you know. And I'll make sure they can free range out in certain areas. Anyway, this back here, and I'm going to try to work the pasture out this way. And I don't know how much I'll be able to rotate pastures, but I think what I'll do is plant different things. Like each year I'll plant different things in the pasture for the different animals. So here I've got pigs pasture, the sheep and goats, horses, and the cow pasture. And then I've got manure compost area back here. Manure compost, gate to the pasture. And then back here, I've got a huge run for the birds. And then over here, I have an area for the birds' manure compost for the chickens, turkeys, ducks, geese, guineas, quail, and meat birds. Meat birds probably not, because they're going to be in a chicken tractor, so that's just going to be at the ground. So, and the meat chickens, I might just put that chicken tractor out around, you know, like this area. But we are going to build raised beds for our gardens. And there's one more thing I want to get. Today it's not going to matter too much on the video because I don't have to work today. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I'm back. Alright. So I wanted to show you these because these actually went with that too. So this is where I got This is where I wrote all of the stuff down on my little garden beds on the big poster. And that was just a, hey, will it fit? I'm gonna try. Anyway. Okay, yeah, this was for our cabin. This is how I would like to do the inside of our off-grid cabin. Right here. And just to show you, and I know it'll be the way it's supposed to be, but... Alright. So this is our bathroom. And I want to set this up. This is like a storage counter with storage space underneath for like toilet paper, that kind of thing. Same for this right here. This is we're going to have a composting toilet system. And this right here, what I'm probably going to do in the off-grid cabin is do the solar shower. And if we can get one, a claw tub. Which we'll fill it with one of the rainwater catchment tanks. And that's our sink. This is how I'd like to set this up. And this room downstairs would be the homestead library and office, and like study. Laundry room with the washing area here. We'll have clothes bars in there. Door here. There's the pantry. And then the door to the pantry. And this is the kitchen with a wood cook stove. You can't even see it. Yeah. This is the kitchen with a wood cook stove, sink, and plenty of counter space. And I just dropped my other poster. And over here. Now, for the guest cabin, if it does end up being this big, we'll end up needing a small wood stove. Just a regular wood stove out in the main living area. And we'll have plenty of wood for our stoves, so. Alright. And now this is the upstairs. This will be like the stair entrance and like part of, this is going to be the loft landing. And then, like if we section this out right here, we can have a bedroom here, a little hallway, and each one of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 more on the other side. They're going to actually be 10 rooms upstairs. And yes, we could build it that big. And technically, it wouldn't take that much to build it like that. Not really, as far as figuring out like the main dimension of the main frame of the house. It wouldn't really take that much. We'd have to use double logs, like lengthwise, and we'd have to cut connectors for the middle, which we've already kind of figured that one out, and we would have help, so. And this was the old orchard that I had written out, which I just went by this basically to write down the stuff on the other one. But this is the trees. Apples, pears, peaches, plum, and yes, plums grow down here. A friend of ours from church has some plum trees. Mulberry trees, and we know those grow down here. Nectarines, fig trees. Now, the fig trees might have to go in the greenhouse. That was another one I couldn't think of yesterday. Kiwi trees. Kiwi trees might have to go in the greenhouse as well. So we won't have that many. Apricot trees. Apricots will grow down here. And then sweet cherries, Rainier cherries, and tart cherries. And then this side is red raspberries, fall gold. I'm so excited for those. Royal purple raspberries, blackberries, which will come right from the canes off the land, blueberries, boysenberries. Now the boysenberries, instead of being in the orchard part, we are going to put those around the inside perimeter of the fence where I've got our, you can see it, around this, on the inside of this part, right here, around where our greenhouse and strawberry patch is going to be. So, because boysenberries, they have to be climbing up something. They have to be, or they'll get everywhere. And the fruit trees, I think I'm actually going to plant the fruit trees on the inside of the privacy fence around the living space of the property. So that just might be our fruit orchard, at least for the trees, which will free up that space, which would be nice. Okay. So then there's gooseberries and huckleberries. I know those will grow down here as well. Pink lemonade blueberries, scarlet goji berries, black goji berries, loganberries, red currants, black currants, white currants, and cranberries. Now, on this, I didn't write elderberry on this because I have them next to the gate around the garden, which I might just do the same thing, or I'll put them around the inside of the fence, the privacy fence, near the house or near the outdoor kitchen. So, anyway, so that is my posters, basically explained. And, that goes along with the pins that I was doing this week on the animal feed and how we're going to feed our animals. Now, as I was saying, we will be stocking up. I'm going to build a small storage shed on the property. And I'm going to be putting our bags of food, because I am going to buy some non-GMO, basically heirloom, healthy feed for the chickens and, turkeys, ducks and geese. They can pretty much eat the same thing. Same for like chick starter, but I'm going to have to make sure it's all non-GMO, that there's no chemicals or anything in it. As well as like same thing for like goats and even horses and cows. And I'm just going to start storing that feed in that shed. But I'm going to have to make sure that I put like, what I might do is get some cedar and put it around that building, because I'll have to have a way to keep the mice out, because I don't want the mice getting into them. The other thing I could do, I don't want them to mold either. I'd have to get cement. We'll have to get cement and actually make the floor of that shed cement, because we don't want them on the ground, obviously. So it's either that, or what I'll do is I'll get metal, basically like metal trash cans, and put the feed in those, and then just label them. So we'll see. But that's how we're going to store the beginning starter feed for all of our animals, because we're going to have something to feed them, obviously. I'm hoping that by the spring we'll be able to have something on the property and have a way to and from ourselves without having to count on anyone else, so we can actually stay on the property and work, especially with the gardens, because this next year I want to be able to plant our gardens on the property, period. And I don't care I don't care in the wintertime, if the ground is frozen, I don't need to dig to build garden beds. All I need is the logs on the property. That's it. That's all I need. And you know what? When one needs to be rebuilt, I'll rebuild one. So, we can always use that wood for our wood stoves. And I might even get a small wood stove for the barn. Maybe a couple of them, especially if we have a bigger barn. But anyway, so that concludes today's video, and it's a pretty long one, so it's going to take a minute to get it uploaded. And I'm going to have Chloe get that other video spliced together and get that one out there today. So I'm probably going to do a few other ones today as well. I might even start a new pin section. So I've got the next few days off. But I hope you guys got some enjoyment out of this and a little bit of information. And, you guys make your own choices, obviously, on the feed. But it is so much healthier to be able to grow the food yourself. Now, I understand if you don't have the growing space or that kind of thing. But if you have to buy your feed, make sure it's healthy. And make sure you have a way to stock up and store up. Because there's going to come a time where you're not going to be able to. So I'm going to get off from here and get this video uploaded, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.